Hey yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we are back at it with another tier list, but this one being the best of Galaxy Opals in 2K21 Myteam. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, as well as check out any of the tier lists that we've done this week, as well as the point guard, shooting guards, small forwards, and power forwards, and centers tier lists that will all be linked in the description down below. If you guys want to check that out, and if we mention any gameplays on or throughout the video, those will also be linked down below in case you want to see some of the cards. As we get on to the tier list, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe if you guys are new on that road to 10K, and make sure you let me know any of the changes that you guys personally would be making to the tier list, which move some guys up, move some guys down, and all of that wonderful, beautiful stuff. So let's get into it. First off, showing our no thanks tier. These are the guys that we don't really need in the game. Again, my firm belief is that many of these guys we could just have entirely leave the game and you guys wouldn't even know any better. And here we go. We have a Galaxy Opal, Bill Walton, Bill Russell, Baron Davis, Wilt Chamberlain, Trae Young, Lou Hudson, and Damian Lillard. Bill Walton, yeah, buddy, you're just like the worst actual Opal in the game, the worst being Elgin, but like, there's just no reason to use them. Bill Russell, just again, not really a great one. You're talking about a guy who's mainly supposed to be a back-to-the-basket big, who can play a little bit of defense, and there's just so many guys who can do that plus more. Why would he use him? Baron Davis is kind of a joke. Why would we have him in the game? No, thank you. Wilt Chamberlain, kind of the same thing as Bill Russell, just a little bit more offensive heavy. Trae Young, got a good jumper. It's absolutely buddy, and it's quick. I apologize for the burp. But he's just not worth using, man. Trae is like a 6 foot on a good day PG that just really isn't worth using too much. Doesn't have the defense, or just can't play defense as well as he should. Lou Hudson, pretty terrible, all around bad. And Galaxy Opal Damian Lillard is just a slightly better, I guess you could say. Baron Davis, in general, none of these cards are worth using at all. Obviously, that's why they're in the no thank you tier. There's no real point into using a lot of these guys. They might be fun for a little bit, but yeah, please don't have money to line up. Now, starting off our maybe during limited tier, these are guys that, you know, we would use. They're a little bit better than our guys down in, you know, the no thank you tier. They're okay. We're not too excited about them, but we're not mad about them. Those kind of cards. And starting that off, we do have Spencer Haywood, who actually isn't too bad of a card all around. Looks pretty solid and can be a pretty fun guy to use in general. But I'm just personally not very excited about the Spencer Haywood card. He just doesn't really excite me too much. Okay jumper, pretty good defender, actually pretty capable slasher, but in my opinion, I just don't really see too much reason to use him, and he's very, very undersized at the center position, which is his primary. It's just not worth using for me personally. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Shaquille O'Neal, kind of the same, I guess, story of a Bill Russell and a Wilt Chamberlain, where we're a really good inside, you know, big man, which obviously, like, it's Shaquille O'Neal. What else would you expect him to be? But there's really just not too much reason to use cards like that, especially when he has a better version of himself. Yeah, no thank you. Next up is Rick Barry, a guy who I just barely have scratching away from the absolute horror of the no thank you tier, because jump shot 3 on quick is disgusting. But other than that, Rick Barry just doesn't provide you with anything that's too exciting. He just doesn't have enough badges in the you know, playmaking and defense categories as I would want. I don't know how you can be a Galaxy Opal for 750 tokens and still require badges to be added. But hey, Rick Barry found a way, so you know what? Good on that. Next up is quite the disappointing card in Galaxy Opal Rashard Lewis. Everybody that is working at 2K currently and decided to put the things for this Rashard Lewis, I want to know what was going through your head when you actually decided this, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. We buffed up his finishing, so it's great. We gave him amazing shooting badges, amazing defensive badges, pretty good playmaking badges as well. His stats are beautiful all across the board. Give him jump shot 94, the Colin Sexton and Dirk Nowitzki jumper on very quick, which is awesome, the quick dribble style. But then we just copy and pasted the dribbling moves from his Ruby that everybody hated even when it first came out. Like, where's the logic in that? It just doesn't make too much sense to me, and it basically makes this guy not even worth it at all. I will not be getting my last ring in limited for Rashard Lewis. It's just not worth it. Get the Hall of Fame badge. Again, I don't know what they're doing. You copied and pasted like dribbling animations from a Ruby that dropped at the beginning of the year. It's just not worth it. Next up is Freddie VanVleet, who's again the curse of the shorter PG. Does have the Giannis Antetokounmpo base, which is cool. Can be a good shooter and okay defender. But overall, I'm not really too excited to be using Fred VanVleet. He's cool, he's nice, but there's definitely some better opals out there. He's just, I would say, better than a Baron and Lillard. But you could argue that. Next up, again, the curse of the short PG. The short king curse is coming in right now with Chris Paul. And, you know, Chris Paul is actually a pretty good card for what he's supposed to be, and that is just a shorter PG that can do a little bit of everything. The Chris Paul jumper on very quick, actually super solid, actually feels really nice. And you know what? I like him. And if I'm picking like a 6-foot PG, if you listed them all out, maybe I'm probably picking Chris Paul, but still not the greatest of cards. Next up is Galaxy Opal Ron Harper, who got the curse of Jump Shot 18, which is a terrible jumper. You can get used to it, and I do have this Ron Harper myself, and it's just really not too worth it. There's so many, again, other cards in the game, especially the PG position, that can do what this Ron Harper specializes at, which is defense and playmaking, so much better, or just even about the same, and still have other things that they actually excel in and do very well aside from that. So, sorry, Ron Harper, but you're not it. That jumper is just, it's not good. Next up is one of the new Galaxy Opals that we did get yesterday in the Idol Series Russell Westbrook set, and it is Galaxy Opal Marquise Johnson, who honestly is not too bad. And we did do a gameplay on him yesterday, so I will link that in the description down below for anybody that does want to check it out. He's actually a decent card, but the main flaw with him, which you'll hear from every single person that's used him, he does not have range extender. And at this point of the year, that's kind of a big deal. Not having range is pretty tough. I do like his jumper. I love the fact that he has a shifty dribble style. It makes him feel super smooth, super nice, and he's one of the best slashers in the entire game, which you'll see if you watch the gameplay from yesterday. He just does that defense and slashing ability so well, and put his shooting just really ain't it, because Jump Shot 8, even on very quick, just isn't amazing, and he doesn't have the other things to really help out with it too much. So, sorry, but you're still down there. Next up is Galaxy Opal Stephen Curry as well, the Retro 2K one, I'm pretty sure this is. I decided to go with this image, I think, instead of his hero, just because it looks fun. Now, this Steph Curry obviously just is cursed by the fact that the Steph Curry, signature style for dribbling just is not good at all. But with Curry cards, this jumper is so fire that sometimes you can kind of ignore that, but still, Curry cards this year just really ain't it. It's tough because he was the best card in the game when he first came out, the pink diamond stuff in the beginning of the year, but now definitely a fall from grace for Curry. And last but not least on our maybe during limited tier is Billy Cunningham, the Ascension reward for this season. I have got Billy Cunningham myself, and he's just really not it. The Blake Griffin jumper, in my opinion, on quick is just not fast enough. So that's a little bit tough. He has Pro 1 and all of his dribble 6, which is bad, but I don't love it. The long athlete layup package as well, and he's 6'6" at the power forward, small forward, which, if you're not as cheesy as Zion, there's just really not too much point. He's a pretty good slasher and an okay defender, but in general, I'm just not excited about Billy Cunningham, and I don't really know many people that are. Like, why was this the card that had RNG in it? I'm struggling to just find a reason, because there was some of them that were cool, that were nice, but Billy Cunningham? I don't know. Just me personally. Now, next up, we do have our perfect for budget team tier list that we've been doing for the last one, but I decided to change it to some small flaws because obviously some of these opals that we may have in here aren't exactly budget because for whatever reason, I think there's a few lock-in reward cards that are here that are good, but definitely aren't in our baby demons or demons tier, so we're going to have to move it around a little bit. And starting it off is going to be Galaxy Opal Andre Iguodala, who, I've said it a few times, I just don't really like the Andre Iguodala release. It's just not my thing. But you do with Iggy every single time that he comes out, get a really good slasher and a really good defender. And as that, I don't think he's too bad. But as a general opal, not my favorite. If you like the Iguodala jumper, it can be fun for you. Personally, for me, I don't really like it, and I never have liked it in really any of the years that we've had Iggy. So he's still sitting there in the some small flaws. Next up is Victor Oladipo, who every single year is a card that I get a little bit excited about dropping because he's always a really good defensive PG, and then he just lets me down. Oladipo's jumper this year is okay, but it's just not great. He is a good defender, but we just have so many PGs that can do exactly what he can and taller that it's just not really too worth it to pick up Oladipo. But if you are a Pacers fan, I guess maybe you're not too excited about him anymore, I guess. But I think he's on, the Rockets now? Something like that. Either way, whatever team Oladipo's on now, you could have some fun if you wanted to, but I'm generally not too excited about him anymore. I used to be, but nah. Next up is Galaxy Opal Scottie Pippen, who you would expect is an amazing slasher and amazing defender, as he is every single year. And again, I decided to not use his hero card and instead just picked up the normal Scottie just because I love the card art for it. All 2K15 and older cards are just super nice to see again. And you know what, the Scottie's pretty good. If you like guys, or just in general, cards that are just really good defenders and again can kind of hit you with the occasional 3, but you don't want to rely on it too much, so the jumper isn't great, but really just defense, finishing, that sort of stuff. Occasional 3, Scottie's your guy. He's just hurt about the fact that jump shot 30 is a pretty bad jumper. It's not great at all. Next up is Galaxy Opal Paul Pierce, who I will admit is better on next gen, but they just really ignored the fact that finishing is a pretty crucial part in 2K, and didn't give Paul Pierce really anything in there. Only has a few gold badges in it, and it really kind of hurts him a good bit. So, you know, it is what it is. Paul Pierce can be fun, but he needs better finishing for sure. Alright, next up we do have the Galaxy Opal Nikola Jokic. Now, I've seen some people trying to defend Jokic, saying he should be a little bit higher. But again, I think if you take into the reasoning the fact that not a lot of people really like the jumper, I personally know a few people. If you're watching this video all the way through, I know it's the Myteam news page on Twitter. I've had a few conversations with him about some Jokic cards every now and then, and I know he just absolutely hates the jumper. So there are people who just don't like this Jokic card at all. It's also why KG for some people just isn't great, and there's definitely a lot of centers at this point in the game that are just better than Jokic. So I think he does have some small flaws with that jumper and the fact that a lot of people just don't really find him that great. But he still is a good center, so I'm going to keep him into this kind of mid-tier. I think if you're not going to go for Dirk, or you don't have, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or David Robinson, he can be good, but there's definitely some better options out there, especially now that Dirk is so cheap from the new game event that they did. Next up is the reason I changed the name of the B tier list for this into some small flaws, and it's Galaxy Opal Klay Thompson, because I think this card's great, but I just don't think he provides something insanely special compared to some other cards. Klay Thompson, obviously you have the Klay Thompson base, like wow, what a revelation, but he's just kind of 3-and-D, and there's again so many cards coming out now that can shoot threes and play defense that it's like, why do we need Klay? Plus, he's not even that insane of a defender anyway, if we're keeping it real. I do love the fact that he has the shifty dribble style, but we did get a Matt Bonner, who's literally a 6'10" Klay Thompson, and is even better as an amethyst, so I just don't really love the Klay Thompson anymore. It's a little bit tough. He's still fun, he's still cool, but yeah, he's definitely not budget, and I just don't see a lot of reason to use him or put him higher than this. Next up is Galaxy Opal Jarrett Culver, who I'm honestly kind of glad didn't win the Galaxy Opal tournament and Obi Toppin did instead, because this Jarrett Culver kind of trash because of his dribbling. They decided to give him that Trey Burke base, make it absolutely money, and then just not give him great dribbling animations. He's going to be a good shooter. He's going to be a good finisher. He's going to be a pretty good defender. But when it comes to actually trying to get Jeezy and dribble, he's not going to be that great. It's all like Pro 3s and Pro 4s, which is the same as Galaxy Opal Dirk. So obviously you can see it's not the most amazing. Next up is Galaxy Opal Hedo Turkoglu, a card that I have a bit of a higher love for than most people in 2K. And that's just because I don't mind the LaMarcus Aldridge jumper on Hedo Turkoglu. I think it's super money. Plus, I have love for Hedo from the previous years of 2K, 2K19 and stuff like that. So I think I probably love him just because of the nostalgia factor. Also, the leaners are kind of gone, which is why I moved him down from Baby Demons to the Some Small Flaws, because he was so overpowered because you could hit all those crazy normal leaners, but now you can't. Either way, he's still a 6'10" guy that can play some good defense, he can finish inside, and if you get the jumper down, he can be an absolutely money shooter. But he does have some niche play, and not everybody will love him, so I will put him into the Some Small Flaws, because I get it, man. I know he's not for everybody. Next up, we do have Detlef Schrempf, who is a Delino Gallinari jump shot base player who is just absolutely money. And you know what? He's actually pretty good. A good defender, really good shooter, pretty good finisher. I just don't... it feels wrong to put Detlef Schrempf up into Baby Demons as the whole Galaxy Opal, but he is one of the best small forwards in the game because the small forward position's pretty weak, which is a little bit tough. I know Detlef Schrempf, some people really love him, but we just got a Boris Diaw who does exactly what he can for significantly cheaper, and it kind of just rubs me the wrong way on Schrempf just a little bit. Next up, we do have Galaxy Opal Darren Williams, who, if I'm being honest, is the best 6'3" and under PG in the entire game. This Darren Williams has jump shot 38 on very quick, the curry slide, and is absolutely disgusting, man. Disgusting. I did a gameplay on this card as well, which I'll link in the description down below, along with whatever other card we talked about today. I think it was Marquise Johnson. And Darren Williams is gross, man. If you get that jump shot timing down, it is a little bit quick and a little bit fast. So you have to get used to that. But once you get it down, this Darren Williams will not miss. He attacks the basket perfectly fine. He plays defense stupidly well for a 6'3" guy. And he has a 6'10" wingspan, which is amazing. If you are going for some shorter, traditional PGs, Darren Williams is the way to go. No question about it. Next up is Galaxy Opal Chris Mullin, who, honestly, I don't know. I loved his diamond, but there's just something about the Galaxy Opal that just doesn't jump out to me anymore. I think I liked Diamond Mullen just because he had jump shot 22, but this one also has jump shot 22. He's nice, and it's just, I don't know. There's just something about Mullen not really feeling like a great finisher sometimes whenever I use him. That isn't great, but you're looking for a guy who's just going to check up a bunch of threes and be absolutely insane at it. Chris Mullin's your dude. He's just fun. He's great. But I do sense that a Jimmy Butler is coming soon that's going to have jump shot 22 and blow this Chris Mullin out of the water and really not give you too much reason to use Mullin anymore. So watch out for that. And last but not least, we do have Galaxy Opal Dominique Wilkins, who is like Marquise Johnson, but with range extender and some better shooting, and also just as good at finishing, just as good at defense. They're basically the same card, except for Dominique gets that boost of actually having range, and I think with it, he becomes a significantly better card. And is much more worth your time, but still, you know, he's got some flaws, let's be honest, because jump shot 8 still isn't amazing. Now, starting off our not quite demons tier, or our baby demons tier, whoever shouted out the, the name for, like, the baby demons, I'll see if I can find it real quick, just looking through for the baby demons tier. I know somebody shouted out yesterday, I'm pretty sure it's Bernardo Forno. I probably pronounced that a little bit incorrect, but he did shout out saying we should call this baby demons. Let me know what you guys think about it, but I absolutely love it. If you got to this far, let me know. I think it is it's a great name. It's a fun name. But either way, our first guy in the new baby demons tier is Galaxy Opal Billy Owens, who is a Damian Lillard jump shot, very quick base player with the curry slide, and he is gnarly. Again, did a gameplay on this guy, and he's just so good. Billy Owens is one of the best slashes that I've used in the game, plus he can just shoot from deep stupid well and is a really good defender. Sometimes he can be a little bit inconsistent here and there, and I think that's just a Lillard jumper, or just 2K in general, the algo coming through and kicking you in the teeth every now and then, which can be a little bit annoying. But in general, Billy Owens is great, just not quite on that Demons level because we're sitting with like a gold range. And although the Lillard jumper is easy to time, it's definitely not like one of the top jumpers in the game. So, you know, it is what it is. Next up is Galaxy Opal Arvydas Sabonis, who is a beautiful, amazing, tall center who can just shoot it from deep. It's absolutely amazing. Now, Arvydas isn't going to be the cheesiest of guys when it comes to dribbling and stuff like that, as you would expect. He is, he is a center. We have to taper expectations just a little bit. But he can feel a little bit goofy and a little bit clunky when you're on the court because he is so big. But still, the jumper's nice. And if you use him as just a pick and pop guy or just a normal center as you would, just running through some plays, some screens, some things like that, he is beautiful and he is one of the best, for being honest. Next up is a Galaxy Opal Rui Hachimura, who we also did a gameplay on yesterday. And if you wanted to use Dark Matter Carmelo Anthony, I said Dark Mellow Carmelo Anthony. Dark Matter Carmelo Anthony, but better. Boom, there you go. You got Rui Hachimura. Curry slide, jump shot 55 on very quick. He's an amazing defender, an amazing slasher. He shoots the 3-ball great. And just overall a really good card. But kind of like the case with Billy Owens, I think jump shot 55 is good, but it's definitely not in that upper echelon of jumpers. So sometimes it can be a little bit inconsistent for some, but it's still pretty solid. Next up is Galaxy Opal Rudy LaRusso. I will never stop talking about how much I absolutely love this card. He's one of my favorites, and I literally use him any chance that I get. He's just so fun, man. Jump shot 21 on very quick is amazing, and Rudy is just such a good defender and such a good finisher that it really makes up for it. Plus, with jump shot 21 on very quick or the Kareem jumper with Hall of Fame range, he just doesn't miss either. In general, he's just great. I love him at the 3, love him at the 4. He's just an amazing card. I do think you should hold off on the exchange if you are somebody who has the cards to do so. And we're thinking about Rudy because Season 7 is so close to being here that I would hold off and maybe do the next one there. But still, I love Rudy. He's just an absolutely insane card. Next up is Galaxy Opal Penny Hardaway, who is here because he's tall. and you get a new jumper, if I'm being honest. The one thing that is terrible about Penny Hardaway, though, is his tendencies are... they're not great. If you go and actually look at him, they're just absolutely horrid, especially if you compare him to somebody like a Ben Simmons on defense, so watch out for that. But he's still a 6'7" PG with a nice wingspan, and the fact that he has a new jump shot 75 on very quick really helps him out, and as you would expect, Penny just slashes the basket insane. If you're looking for a tall PG that can still, hold his own against Ben, but isn't quite Ben, Penny Hardaway's your guy, the not quite Ben Simmons. There you go. Next up is Galaxy Opal Millsap, one of the glitch rewards that we got for, I think, 12 games of Unlimited over the weekend. Pretty cool. I personally didn't go and do it myself because, why would I willingly put myself through 12 games of sweaty Unlimited back to back to back to back? It just doesn't sound like a good time. But if you did get Paul Millsap, he's just a great all-around, glue guy, small forward, power forward that just plays defense, shoots threes, gets boards, just does everything, all the little things for you, which is great. I don't think he has that takeover power like a demon would, but he's still a great all-around small forward, power forward player. So yeah, pretty good Opal. Next up is Galaxy Opal PG, who I absolutely love because this jumper is just money, but I think originally I would have put him into the Demons tier, but then we got Pink Diamond Richard Dumas, who showed me that the Paul George base on quick is good, but you put it on very quick and it becomes insane. So this Galaxy Paul George is great, but I just wish he had that very quick timing, and then it would, I think, put him up to that next level. He's still a great card, he's still really fun, and he's one of the best 3&D cards in the game, but he's just not at that next level like you'll see some of the guys in the Demons tier are. Next up is the guy that did win the Galaxy Opal tournament, and it is Galaxy Opal Obi Toppin, a great free locker code card. Same jumper as Penny Hardaway in jump shot 75, but I'm pretty sure it's on quick. Not the greatest at dribbling either, like Jared Culver, so I guess, there's that. But offensively, this Obi Toppin is just absolutely insane because there's nobody stopping him going to the basket, and he still has a bit of defense, which isn't quite realistic to real life, but helps his card out a bunch. Good defense and just all around amazing card in general. Great free card, and I would argue one of the best free cards we've actually gotten in 2K this year, so you'll love to see it. Next up is Galaxy Opal Kawhi Leonard, who is still an absolutely amazing shooting guard, and I know I've been putting him down into the Baby Demons tier, like the A tier, just under S, but I still kind of use him as my starting shooting guard, so let that be known. He's just a great all-around card. The Ray Allen base on quick is amazing with the Curry slide, and his defense is just beautiful. And Kawhi, you guys know, if you've used a Kawhi card, he just has that defensive stance that just for some reason makes him play better defense than his stats or badges would suggest. But the reason that I've put Kawhi Leonard into the Baby Demons tier is just because he doesn't have the greatest full court dribbling. I think his dribble style isn't too bad with the quick, but the Ray Allen base is on quick, and I think if they made it like a very quick Ray Allen base, then Kawhi Leonard would still be a demon. But right now, he's still not too bad. Just a little bit outdated for who we've been getting lately. Next up is Galaxy Opal Julius Randle, who is just an absolute god. Jump shot 47 is amazing on this Julius Randle. I love the jumper. His defense is great. His finishing is amazing, and he play makes pretty well. But I don't love the fact that he's a center because it just doesn't give him amazing coach boosts unless you're talking about the Dark Matter ones, which, let's be honest, it's probably like 1% of the people playing 2K. So for most of us, the coach boosts on centers just aren't too worthwhile, especially on Julius. And he's undersized to play his primary position, so you really only have one to be playing him at, and that's, the power forward. He could be an okay center, but let's be honest, he's definitely more suited to be a power forward. And still, he's great all around. It's still really fun. And I really got to get on my grind to try to get him, but I still haven't gotten Fairy, so I'm working on that grind too, so who knows. Next up is a card that I recently have been able to acquire in Galaxy Opal Fat Lever, and this card is a demon, man. The Dante Exum jump shot base is one of the smoothest and easiest to time jumpers in the entire game. Plus, Fat Lever at 6'3" can drive in and just dunk on literally everybody. Still is a great defender. He's just honestly all around solid. When it comes to free PGs, this is really as good as it gets. And again, I know I said Darren Williams is probably the best PG to pick up at 6'3", but I was kind of talking about like auction house cards. Fat Lever, because he's a nice free little demon. You gotta love him. Plus that Dante Exum base is just next level. And last but not least for our Baby Demons tier, we do have Galaxy Opal Dirk Nowitzki, who once was the best center of the entire game, but obviously with Kareem and all that sort of stuff, he's just a step down from the Demons tier. We have a lot of really good centers. Even Jaren Jackson Jr., actually, the free Pink Diamond, I would argue, is better than Dirk Nowitzki. They're still really fun. They're still really good cards. But in general, if I'm being honest, I'm going to be leaning towards those other guys. Dirk is still great. Jump shot 94 on quick is amazing, and he has just that godly shooting ability. And it's actually, I love it that Dirk Nowitzki is actually a great power forward center in the game, because most years he's pretty terrible. So it's pretty nice, but again, I think he's got that step down. He's still really fun though. Starting off our Demons tier, we got Galaxy Opal Andre Karolinko, the defensive god. You guys know, I love every single Andre Karolinko card. We did a gameplay on him, and he was just absolutely insane. He plays defense literally everywhere. If you're running this 8K, you could honestly run like a switch everything kind of defense, and he won't lack at all. Jump shot 98 on quick is going to be absolutely insane, and the only thing that is keeping him out of that like number, like, top 3 cards, I guess was, I don't know why I said number, but like top 3 cards, the fact that he does with the Curry slide, but he does have the shifty, I think, dribble style, which is amazing. AK-47 every single year is one of my favorites. Probably have a bit of bias in there, but it is what it is. I just love the card. Next up is Galaxy Opal West Unseld, who's basically a Kobe Bryant that can play the center position, which is kind of crazy, because he has the Kobe Bryant brace, the quick dribble style, and the Curry slide as a center, which is awesome. He just dunks everybody, plays great defense, and he's just shifty all around. This West Unseld is beautiful, and anybody that's gone through the grind to actually get him knows that he's got it like that. Next up is Galaxy Opal Rudy Gay, one of my favorite cards to use. I threw on the Kobe 3-point Grinches, and this card just could not be stopped. The Rudy Gay jump shot base on very quick is just disgusting. Then he's got the Curry slide, the quick dribble style, and his defense is just beautiful. Plus, as you would expect with a Memphis Rudy Gay, his finishing is godly. This card was so fun to use just because that Rudy Gay base is amazing. Just imagine Terry the Dentist 10 times better, and boom, there's Rudy Gay. Next up is Galaxy Opal Luka Doncic, as you would expect. If Fat Lever is in at the Baby Demons tier just for having the Dante XM base alone and being 6'3", just imagine what a 6'7" Dante XM base PG would be like, and then boom, you have Luka Doncic. Luka, not the best PG in the game anymore. It used to be, but now that Ben Simmons is in the game, obviously Luka can't be #1 anymore. But Luka is still great, and I would definitely say a top 3 to 5 PG in the entire game to just go in there and kill it. Super fun to use. Next up is Galaxy Opal Kyle Kuzma, who's just a slight step down from Rudy Gay, in my opinion, and that's just because I personally prefer the Rudy Gay base to jump shot 80 on very quick. But Kuzma does have the Pro 3 dribble style instead, and is a slightly better defender, but a slightly worse finisher than Rudy Gay, so it's kind of like, what do you want? If you want better defense, you like jump shot 80 a little bit more, and you really care about that Pro 3 behind the back, I would go with Kuzma. But for me personally, I just mainly care about the jumper and having the Curry slide, which Rudy Gay does, so I like it more. But both these guys are absolutely, without a doubt, Demon tier cards and are just amazing. Plus, they're budget guys, less than like 75k I think for Rudy Gay, and less than 50k for Kuzma. It's beautiful. Next up is Galaxy Opal out of position Kevin Durant, who is saved by the fact that he is a shooting guard, secondary position. Although, even at the center, I actually don't mind this Kevin Durant. I did pick him up and use him for some XP, and this card was just absolutely insane. He is so shifty. The KD jumper, once you get it down, is just money. And the fact that he's like 6'10", 6'11", with his massive like Giannis wingspan, it's just godly. He plays great defense. He dunks on everybody. And again, KD with that like I think shifty dribble style on the Curry slide is just unreal. One of the best cards in the entire game. Like honestly, pick him up, run him with the 2, and you will not regret it. Next up, we do have Galaxy Opal Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, as you would expect, anytime we get a Giannis card who has range, boom, you're good. And just like Kevin Durant, he is saved a little bit by the fact that he has the power forward secondary position. But either way, he's still an amazing all-around center even. That is just godly. I mean, we all know it. Giannis just has that build that lets you do whatever you want. The sidestep cheese is just unreal. And the fact that it gave him gold range off rip, kind of crazy. Next up is Galaxy Opal Hondo. They gave him the Curry slide, the quick dribble style, and 98 on quick. I mean, come on. Jump shot 98 on quick. And for anybody that's played Mystery Domination on Hall of Fame and has gone against this John Havlicek, you know that even the AIs of this card are hard to guard. So just imagine with a real person using it. Absolutely unreal. I got somebody that dropped like a 60 bomb on my head with the John Havlicek, and I still have not fully recovered. It still haunts my dreams sometimes. And last but not least in the Demon tier, we do have Galaxy Opal Danny Ferry, who is Hondo, but 6'10". So yeah, and he has jump shot 98 on very quick with the Curry slide. Danny Ferry, in my opinion, is probably the second best card in the game now. I would probably say Ben Simmons is like #1, but still, being #2 instantly throws you up in the Demon tier. Anybody that argues that Danny Ferry isn't one of the top cards in the game, they're just lying to themselves because I haven't got it. like myself. So that's what we got for the Galaxy Opals tier list. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Thinking about doing the pink diamonds and another run through the dark matters to see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. If you guys want to check out any of the other tier lists that we've done, the point guards, the shooting guards, the small forwards, the power forwards, and the small centers, they will be linked down in the description down below, as well as any of the gameplays that we talked about throughout the video. Those will also be down there, so check them all out after you finish this one. Like if you guys did enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.